is Dormouse03, continuing my Mass Effect 3 Insanity walkthrough, and this is the mission Priority Rannoch. So, here we are. This is the culmination of this Gethquarian plotline that has run throughout all 3 games. And so we are fighting a bunch of Reaper allied Geth here on Rannoch. And we are trying to get to this central hub area where we're going to take out the Reaper code. And thereby, so we think, make it so that the Geth can be taken out by the Quarians here. So we shall get there, but we've got a bunch of Geth in our way. And so we're going to go through a bunch of them here. And again, this is pretty standard Geth fighting here. There aren't too many things, especially here in this beginning section, that are going to cause too much difficulty. You have pretty good advantage, height advantage on them from this spot right here. You just use a bunch of overload. I got bored sitting in the same place, so I come around here and see if I can flank them a little bit. And, you know, there's not even very many, like, hunters or pyros or anything that's going to really be that super aggressive. The only real annoyance are the rocket troopers, and it seems like there's not even a whole lot of those right here. So getting to the end boss of this section isn't really too bad. So, seeing as this is fairly standard, if I see something I'll comment, but I'm gonna talk about this plotline. So I think that it gets really nicely wrapped up here, and just like the Tuchanka mission, it feels like the things that you have learned over the course of the games and the things that you have done, the choices that you've made, the characters that you've met, the people that are still alive in your game are going to really make this a different experience for you depending on who you have. So I guess this is minor spoilers, but I don't know why you'd be watching a guide to something if you don't know the story, but I don't know. I don't want to spoil too many things. So if you've played Mass Effect 2, there are, as Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, there are a bunch of characters that could be dead here. So Legion could be dead. You could have never picked him up and never known he existed, and that would be a real shame for you because Legion is an awesome character in my opinion. And if you hadn't really picked him up, you probably wouldn't care a whole lot about the Geth, because really the only thing that you sort of know about them, you know from Legion, and the only kind of personal interaction that you've had is through your interaction with Legion in the second game. And I think that it gave you a lot of perspective about who they are as a race, to know that they were, you know, kind of used and misunderstood throughout the first game, and that they're sort of, they continue to be misunderstood all the way until now. And you know, it just gives you a lot more perspective and makes it a lot more difficult for you to make some of these choices that you have to make if you don't have enough reputation, if you don't have enough, if you haven't done sort of, I guess, the prerequisites to be able to get the outcome that you want here. It makes some of the choices pretty tough, because I can't imagine if you've met Legion and have talked to him and in any kind of way that you're gonna really, really want to destroy the Geth here. So, but if you haven't talked to him, if you never picked him up, if you didn't really talk to him, if you didn't do his loyalty mission in the second game, if he died at the end of your second game, there's kind of I guess a plethora of ways that he might not be there for this mission, or that things might play out a little differently. But if he's not here, you get some sort of random Geth VI. And it seems like that probably just wouldn't be as powerful. And it would make this section very different. And so Legion is one that can be gone. Tally could also be dead. And I don't know about anyone who might be watching this, but a lot of the other Quarians are kind of unlikable. I mean, they seem to do sort of silly things. You know, all of this political nonsense that you have them going through, you know, them accusing her of treason and in the second game, and just in general not being able to sort of make decisions, and going through a lot of the political crap that, you know, makes sense. I mean, it's pretty realistic to have that in there, but it makes them sort of sterile and a little unlikable. I do like Zen, even though she's sort of a maniacal bitch. Chorus is okay, although he is a little bit lovey-dovey on the Geth. And you know, Han is just sort of the military dude. Perhaps a little bit of a jerk. But you don't really get to know too many of them. And Ron is just sort of... I like her character because I like the actress who voice acts her, and her name escapes me. And I probably wouldn't pronounce it correctly anyway. But I like that actress. I love her voice. I could listen to her read the phone book probably. But the character of Admiral Ron, she plays on the fence too much for me. At least the rest of the characters, you sort of know where they stand. And you would think that she would be a really big ally for Tali, but it just doesn't seem like she is. And I guess that kind of makes me feel like she betrayed Tali a little bit in the second one. And then she didn't have her back when she was trying to convince them about the Geth, so she loses some points in my eyes. But other than them, you haven't really met too many Quarians. I did like Cal Rieger, and I feel like it just did a disgrace to his character, the way that they sort of offed him in this one. I mean, you get an email about it. Come on. Now, he was a likable character, if a minor one, and you just sort of get a little email, and I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get how they had so many cool characters, and then a lot of times their plot lines, you just get an email or a little text thing, or you know, something somebody says that you overhear on the Citadel about them, informing you of their fate, and it feels like, what? You could have done a little bit more than that, but I guess we can't get epicness for everyone. And he was sort of a minor character, so I guess it's okay. But anyway, we're coming up to the part of this where it starts to get a little bit more challenging. Up until now, it's been kind of the standard fare. Your regular Geth troopers, a few rocket guys, but not much else. And we will come up now to the section where they start to make it a little bit more challenging for you. Throwing in some primes. and things. And the angles are sort of weird around this area. But it's not too bad. If you can get yourself into some good spots.
We'll get through. What's your status?
So, we have a little bit more to go here. There is the Geth Plasma Shotgun, which is an awesome weapon, and I cut out a little bit there where I did equip it on to Tali,
Never thought I'd hear you say that.
just to give her a better weapon there. And we'll have this next little section where we shall take out some more dudes. And you sort of learn throughout how the Quarians are doing, and they really need you to hurry up and take out the rest of these Geth and to get to this thing and take out the Reaper codes, because for their huge fleet, they seem to just not do so well. Not do so well against the Geth at all, and I guess perhaps that has to do with the Geth being machines, and perhaps it just says something about the Quarians that they just don't seem like a warlike race. I mean, if you had a fleet of Turians or, you know, an army of Krogan, you'd think they would be ripping through these Geth troopers, but these are not Turians and these are not Krogan, and so it's just the little Quarians who seem sort of frail in their suits, and they've been traveling around, you know, in ships for a long time, and it just seems like this was a foolish plan of theirs to try to go to war, especially with the Reaper threat looming. I don't know, which I guess is another reason why I'm like, Quarians, if it wasn't for Tali, they just wouldn't be super likable, because, I mean, when they know that there are Reapers attacking, what they're going to do is start a war with somebody else. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And I guess their reasoning was that they needed something to fight for, so they were going to take back their homeland. And a big theme throughout this game is kind of giving the races something to fight for, a reason to kind of rally and want to survive and want to make it through. And for the Krogan, that was carrying the Genophage, and for the Quarians, it's taking back the homeworld. So, however silly the reasons for going to war at this moment were, it makes a big difference, I guess, when you feel like you're fighting for something more than just survival. So, we're gonna come up to the end of this video. I'm gonna put the last few fights with the Prime, so where the fighting starts to get semi-challenging here, along with the Reaper boss at the end, and we'll just put that all in the next video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you then.